Email marketing is dead. I hear that every single week. And every single week, I look at the $10 million that my clients have generated from email marketing alone with a 3-day attribution window. So that can't necessarily be true, can it? Now, let me be honest. There are some things with email marketing that are dead, and this is a list of them. And here's what they are. What is actually dead is running a simple pop-up form that gives 20% off to everyone. That's incorrect. That doesn't work anymore. The second thing that's dead is just batch sending a massive discount every month that's a site-wide sale to your entire email marketing list as a campaign. That is old and it is going to cost you more than you make. And on that note, running regular discounts and offers is going to shoot you in the foot and it's not sustainable. Number 4 is relying on ads to grow instead of multiple other channels that actually generate way more. Next is sending to the same 120-day engaged list continuously over and over again. And lastly, if you're keeping the same unchanged flows for months on end, so if you take a look at your flows back end right now and you see that the last time they were changed was over 4 months ago, you know that number 1, you're losing a ton of money, and number 2, your team doesn't know what they're doing. So unfortunately, when people say that email is dead, they're actually not really wrong, because what they've been doing is not working anymore. Just like any algorithm, email's algorithm has completely shifted. What it favors is uniqueness in your offer. It's making sure that you're sending to completely segmented lists depending on their life cycle and not just batch sending. And no one favors a discounted brand. That is going to be a long-term strategy that's going to destroy your brand. And on top of that, we have all these AI updates. So what's happening is email is technically dying and no one actually reads emails. People skim them. And now even more than ever, AI is killing it because Gmail and Apple are all summarizing emails and showing their customer exactly what they want to see. So if your email isn't to the point, it doesn't show a customer exactly what they need to see, and it isn't strategic, unfortunately, it's not even landing in the inbox. It's landing in promotions or spam, and promotions is as good as spam. Now look, although that's all true, and there is a little bit of doom in the email market, email marketing will never die. And the reason for it is because you own that channel, you own the list, as opposed to ads where you constantly have to spend to acquire new customers. Email is essentially just retargeting the customers that you've already spent to acquire as many times as you want at a fraction of the cost. We did the calculations and it's basically $36 to every $1 spent on emails. That is the most insane ROI for any channel that you could ever spend on. So why is it dead? It's not. The reality is that Meta can change your CPAs. It can just shoot through the roof. TikTok can ban your account. Instagram might shadow ban you. Suddenly all these channels that you used to rely on might not work anymore. Especially with the way Meta ads is going, you have to test hundreds of different creatives, and what works today might not work tomorrow. What happens when that happens to you inevitably? You have email as your retention market. Take a look at this client of ours, for example. Before we came on, they were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads per month, and they were technically acquiring new customers onto their list, but they were running a free offer that never brought in returning customers. So month over month, their revenue was actually going down even though their ad spend was going up. Profitability started decreasing. And the main reason is because they were never sending targeted messaging and targeted funnels to make sure that those people were seeing exactly what they needed to and that they were actually reliably converting, so that the money they spent on ads meant that they had a CAC payback, that they had returning customers, and that they had people with increased AOV. They had none of that. So they were basically spending to acquire these fake numbers that most brands look at as vanity metrics, or they should anyway. So we know that ads actually do work. So we know that email marketing is not dead. The algorithm's just kind of shifted. So here's what's actually working. So first up, yes, everyone knows this, but you need to send segmented sending. And now, hear me out. Most people are either over diluting or underdoing this. So you're either sending to your 120-day engaged list and calling it a day, or you're sending to people that have only bought one type of category, for example, shirt customers, and you're only sending them shirt campaigns, or you're sending gummy campaigns to only gummy customers. That is a massive mistake. You should be sending based on life cycle, not interest. So for example, you should be sending 120-day engage. You should be sending to your lapsed customers. You should be sending to your customers that are your repeat champion customers that will spend regardless of whether you send a discount or not. You should also be sending to people that have only ever purchased once, so that you can increase the retention, you can understand what happened in their customer journey. These are the segments you actually need. Next up, a simple pop-up no longer does it. Asking for 20% off straight off the bat will never work anymore. What's actually happening that the top brands like Grunz and Magic Mind are doing is they have a blatantly incredible offer or a mystery discount. And what they do is they ask for your interest first, then your email, then your SMS, then send you to a success page. So you almost have no reason not to submit it because the offer is so incredible. The incentive to give over your information is a no-brainer. So now what you need to do is, instead of just giving a discount straight off the bat that discounts your brand, now lead with a less transactional approach. Ask for their interests and make sure that there is an offer that is mysterious enough or good enough to get their information. Next up is abandonment flows with a second branch for non-buyers. For the last few years on email marketing, the number one thing that I see continuously is every single brand has an abandoned cart email and an abandoned flow email for people that are purchasers and non-purchasers, and they all send the same thing. Whereas you should not be giving a discount to anyone that has been in this flow before or anyone that has been a buyer before. There's no reason to give them an abandoned cart email that says, hey, you can get cart 15 for 15% off. That is not going to work anymore. You actually need to send separate messaging because now the pain points are different. So the psychology of the customer needs to be way more fine-tuned in 2026. The same old things are not working anymore because customers get fine-tuned email marketing all the time. It's not the same landscape as 2020 when no one was using email marketing correctly. Now customers are used to it. They understand the game. And so you need to stop giving discounts to your repeat buyers on the abandonment emails. And you need to understand these different pain points. At this point, their pain point is so different to a non-buyer, so treat it like that. Next up is actually running meaningful split tests. The number one issue that I see with people that run split tests is they're testing subject lines. I hate to say it, but subject lines don't mean anything to anyone anymore. Subject lines are the least of anyone's worries. What you need to be split testing is offers. You need to split test image versus text-based emails. You need to be split testing who the sender is going from. And you need to be split testing sections within the email. Bestsellers versus a category section versus a review section. Those are the meaningful split tests that you need to start running before your competitors find it out before you do. Next up, you can't keep batch sending. And so what the new method is you need to do mixed sending. You need to throw in some plain text emails from the founder, then do educational campaigns, then do an old school newsletter. And trust me, these work incredibly well. Then go back to a promotional email that's got a bit of a twist on it. Again, people are used to receiving emails, and so you have to stand out in some way and beat the algorithm. Do things that are way more personalized. Make things that are readable, that your customer actually wants to see. This is the only way you're going to win in 2026, by doing this mixed sending. And ideally, the way that we've seen is doing 60% image-based and 40% text-only emails. Next up, and it kind of ties into your segmented sending, is stop sending emails to the wrong people in 2026. And what I mean by that is don't blast the discount to your repeat buyers. They're going to buy anyway, which means you're damaging your margins for absolutely no reason. Those big offers need to go to your lapsed customers or the customers that are at risk of churn. And if you don't know your life cycle of a customer, that's a big issue, because knowing that is going to tell you exactly when a customer is about to drop off and never buy from you again. Those are the people you need to give an appealing offer to. And likewise, you shouldn't be sending tons of educational campaigns to people that are either not engaging with you or have never bought from you. They obviously need something way more compelling, and they haven't had it yet. So change up your strategy. Lastly, you need to stop treating email like this weekly task that you just have to get out the way and send something for the sake of sending it. And trust me, your agency is probably doing the exact same thing. If they're just writing up emails and they think that they have a good strategy, then they probably don't, because what email is actually meant to be doing is, number one, increasing your AOV, number two, increasing first-time customer conversions, and number three, increasing the retention rate of your customers. If they are not incorporating those three pillars into their strategy, then they're an agency that's bullshitting you, and I would personally take a second look. That's exactly why for our clients, we focus on those three pillars. We're not looking at fluffy numbers like open rates. We're not talking about what we're delivering. We're talking about we've seen month-over-month growth, and this is how much AOV we've increased by. These are the new customers we brought in, etc., etc. Those are the numbers that actually matter in 2026. So with that being said, if you're a brand that's looking for an agency that is going to make sure that email is one of your best channels and isn't dead, then go down below and book in a call. And if you've especially seen lack of month-over-month growth, that's a big issue, especially if you're spending on ads every single month. You definitely need our help. Go down below and book that call. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully you can see that email is not dead, but the methods that you've been using probably are.